Oh, we're live.
And
Look at that. Isn't that
welcome.
crazy?
Welcome to A Podcast Divided. I'm Daniel, and I'm a Cubs fan.
And Andy, and we know he's a Cubs fan. That means I'm a Sox fan.
And this is A Podcast Divided right after the intro.
Bad
Your Daily Cubs White Sox podcast, the best place for all the baseball debate you need.
And we're back on A Podcast Divided.
It's Chris Russo introductory. Okay, here we go. So today,
Episode 18, by the way.
podcast. Okay, 18. Good job. Okay, so yesterday we got some very unfortunate news about
Amazing.
our pals, the Chicago Cubs. So they didn't even sign a player yet. They're already wasting all of their budget, but coaching budget that is, because they hired Craig Counsell.
The best manager in the MLB. The best margins manager. The best manager in all. This is what the Cubs needed. This is what the Cubs got. This is what the Cubs spent for. The Cubs spent their money in the right places. It may have been an overpay, but it was definitely a smart pay, and it was all worth it.
No, it wasn't. No.
You have to pay a lot for what you want sometimes.
This
That's
is
not what we wanted. It's what we needed. We needed to win on the margins. We needed to win all those close one-run games. You know what? Craig Counsell is the guy who does that. And that's the new Cubs manager for the next World Series team.
I think you guys just pulled off a Dusty Baker. I really do. I mean, come on. Craig Counsell, out of all people, there are honestly better options out there.
Like?
Well, I don't know, but there are better options.
Exactly.
You can't just go on, because I didn't look at the coaching list because I'm not an expert on coaches, but I know from your opinion that because you think he's the best coach,
manager.
means that he's not the best coach. Because you're always wrong when it comes to the Cubs. If the Cubs send another coach that's like a bench coach from the single A, whatever, high A, you would have been like, he's the best coach. He was such a good bench coach. Yeah, I know you.
It's true, though.
It's true that you would do that, or it's true that he's the best coach? Or both?
Yeah, let's just say he is the best coach.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
There's no one better. I mean, maybe he's at least top 5. But he's definitely the best guy the Cubs could have gotten, for free agency.
Daniel.
I mean, most coaches get locked down. That the Brewers did not offer him more is sad.
That is not sad. That's something called logic. But basically what Craig Counsell did last year was he led a team with 3 aces,
and
a great closer, and a lot of batting from the likes of Christian Yelich, Willie Adames, and many others.
And he had no stars. Yelich hasn't
Christian Yelich.
Yelich hasn't been good since 2019.
Exactly. Counsell ruined his career. So yeah, what I'm saying is that Counsell led a team with already great talent.
How are you twisting
absolutely horrible division into the playoffs, where they got knocked out in the first round?
The Brewers suck. My God.
Exactly. But they had the number 1 spot in a horrible division, and they got knocked out in the first round of the playoffs. That's not good. That's a mediocre team.
Yeah.
But they happen to have the most talent in the NL Central for that year, and Craig Counsell did nothing. A good coach would have probably led the Brewers, who already had a very, very solid amount of talent. A good coach would have led that team further in the playoffs, or at least a better record, where the likes of the Chicago Cubs wouldn't actually have a close record to them.
Here's Here's the thing, Andy, right?
Okay.
The Brewers, and I've heard a lot of people say this. The Brewers, I mean, they had some decent players, but
Decent.
they were not a 90-win team. They
Who
were
did
not.
you select in the second round, or was it either the first or second round? Who did you select in the second round of this year's fantasy baseball draft?
Second round?
Second round. You
No.
selected Corbin Burns. So I think the Brewers have talent.
Justin Steele?
He wasn't even in the draft. Like, no one even selected him. But you selected Corbin Burns, who was the best pitcher by far going in that draft.
Debatable.
Not debatable. You could check last year's draft analysis. Corbin Burns was the best pitcher.
Yeah, people fall off and people surprise. Just like, you know who? Justin Steele. Kyle Hendricks having a great year when he's like really old.
Isn't he gone?
Nope, they signed him with the qualifying offer of really cheap, and he was one of the best pitchers last year for his salary.
Let's see. Kyle Hendricks stat line. I like saying the word stat line. It's so much cooler than stats. Stat
He was like the
line.
best pitcher in the MLB for like
Really? A 3.74 ERA is the best pitcher in the MLB?
ERA per salary. He was the most underpaid pitcher in the MLB per performance. If you're talking him
3.74 is like the most average performance in the world.
Yes, but he was underpaid.
Okay. Now what does that have to do with anything?
He's a bargain.
Yeah, but he's mid.
Margins. The Cubs get
normally World Series teams don't have mid people. Kyle Hendricks is mid and he's getting old, therefore he is declining. And his record was 6-8.
The World Series, Sandy.
No, they're not going to win the World Series. Don't listen to this man because the Cubs have mid players that they keep signing when they're really old. No. Did you know that Kyle Hendricks actually pitched the game 7 for the 2016 World Series, and he's still on this team?
Amazing.
Yeah, he's still on this team.
I love him.
He's not going to do good. He's just not going to do good.
Yeah, he was one of the best pitchers in the NL Central last year.
3.74 ERA.
That's decent.
Strikeouts 93, tied for 140th.
He's like 40, bro. He's not young.
But he had 93 strikeouts. He didn't even get 100 strikeouts. He is tied for 140th in the league. That's below mid. That's bad. If all 30 teams have 5 pitchers, then that's 150. So therefore, Kyle Hendricks is the bottom of the barrel. He is a bottom 10 pitcher.
Bottom 10 pitcher?
When it comes to strikeouts.
I don't know who you talking bottom 10 pitcher.
And some teams even use a 4-pitcher rotation.
One of the best pitchers, man.
No, he's, according to strikeouts, he is bottom 10. He's bottom 10 in strikeouts.
Look, here's my thing. This is a pitcher. Okay, who are we talking about? Kyle Hendricks is that pitcher who can be in your. Here's the thing, right? Okay, let me.
I don't think you have a point to bring.
Kyle Hendricks is that type of guy who can be in your rotation and be a solid piece in your rotation, have success in your rotation, achieve some decent things, and he's better than the average 5th star. He's better than most people's 4th star. He's a mid-of-the-rotation guy. He's not your ace. But do you expect like a 35, 40-year-old to be your ace? No. You expect some decency. And that's why they're not paying him that much. They're paying him for less than what he's doing. He's being a great player for the Cubs. And if he can continue what he did last year, he will be a big help. Let's put it that way.
Actually, according to basic math, Kyle Hendricks is actually a bottom. Okay, so he's below 2 out of 3 for the worst 10 pitchers. If you grab 30 pitchers, 30 pitchers, 30 bottom of the rotation pitchers, he is like in between the 2/3 of the worst and 3/3 of the worst. He is the 11th worst. He's the 11th worst. Therefore, he is the 140th best.
Look.
Okay, that's in the league. That's in the league. But he's actually the 20th best. So he is the 20th best 5th string pitcher, and like let's do some math here. The 50th best 4 and 5 string pitcher, and the 80th best 3, 4, 5 string pitcher. So really, he's very, very, very below mid in strikeouts.
Look.
And a whip of 122. That's no good.
I think you have to remember.
And he's getting older too. Therefore, he will decline and be more prone to injuries.
You have to remember that he is a good addition. However, he's not the main centerpiece.
Yeah. Nor should he be a piece of anything. He should if you want to build a World Series team, Kyle Hendricks should not be a part of this team unless you want to pull him as like a long form bullpen, because he's no good. 3.74 isn't enough for any acceptable pitcher to win a World Series with. 93 strikeouts isn't acceptable if you want a World Series team.
Name an acceptable pitcher. What about Lucas Giolito? Do you think he's good?
I think he was great. He's not that good anymore.
Which year do you think he was good?
2019 and 2020. When he threw a no-hitter. Did Kyle Hendricks throw a no-hitter any recent time?
2019. He has a 3.41 ERA. 2020.
That's better than 3.74.
He's only had
how about 2020? How about 2020?
But he's supposed to be the best pitcher for the White Sox back then. He was.
Yeah, back then he was good. He was good in 2020. You want to see his 2020 stats?
I have his 2020 stats. Wait, you mean Hendricks?
Yeah.
Look,
No. I'm talking Lucas Giolito.
I have his stats.
2020 stats, 3.48.
Yep.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So it's not the best. I'll give you that.
He has only had 1 year where he's been under 3.4, and you didn't even name that year. It was 2.38, and the other two.
He played. Okay, his record was 3-3. How can you get a good sample size from 3-3? His WHIP was 1.04 in 2020, and 2019 1.06. Batting average in 2020 184.
Okay, let's talk about some other players.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna move on because Daniel lost this argument. Okay, here we go. Other players.
I just don't think we should be talking about Kyle Hendricks for 20 minutes straight.
No, you wanted to talk about him. But then when I won the argument, you're like, "Now let's move on."
No. I want to talk about other pitchers. The Cubs.
Okay. Let's talk about other pitchers.
Aaron Nola.
Okay, not even on the Cubs, nor will he be.
Aaron Nola would be a great addition. He would be an ace.
Yeah, he would. I agree. You see his stats this year?
He's gettable. Another guy who's
gettable.
Been linked a lot to the Cubs, Yamamoto.
No. Okay.
Other guy, Ohtani.
I don't think so.
You know another guy who I've heard a lot about connected to the Cubs?
I cannot. Juan Soto, Pete Alonso.
No, we're talking about pitchers.
I can see Blake Snell being a Cub because he is washed up. He has some good grit in him, but he's not that good. So I can see Blake Snell being a Cub.
He started off 1-6 with a 5.4 ERA, but then he ended up going 13-3 after
so
that.
So he's inconsistent.
with a 1.20 ERA in his final 23 starts. So 9 bad starts, 23 great starts.
So he's
I
inconsistent.
wouldn't
Is,
pay
is
him
that what
too
you're saying?
much. Kind of streaky, good,
And also,
but not
he's had
not,
years. He's had
not
years
consistent.
where he's been streaky.
Not
When he got traded to the
not
Padres, he was horrible after being a Cy Young candidate in Tampa Bay.
I mean, Nola is definitely one of the top options for starters. And you know who I think we should get? Josh Hader as a closer. He's one
That would
of.
be
I mean,
smart.
Craig Kimbrell's on the market too, but he's older than
No,
35, and Josh Hader's 30. He would be a lot of a smarter signing, and he pitched with a 1.28 ERA in 2023, and he would be the best pitcher for the Cubs to sign as a reliever, in my opinion, because if you can lock down at the end of the bullpen, I mean that helps you some. I mean, I think they need more relievers too because you need to get to the ninth with the lead.
yes, but Josh
Still,
Hader should definitely be your main target.
also you
Don't
have to
worry
admit,
about Pete Alonso, Aaron Nola. Don't even worry about anybody until you lock in Josh Hader. That is my opinion.
you see, I think we can do a lot. Like there are a lot of these pitchers on the market that would be big. I mean, Sonny Gray, Jordan Montgomery. I mean, I'm just scrolling. I mean, let's see, Eduardo Rodriguez. Um, I mean, there are just a lot of guys who aren't insane. They're decent though, and I'd be really happy for the Cubs to get them, and they'd be big. And if let's see, what was I gonna say? If the Cubs can lock down 2 or 3 of those starters that I was just naming, I know that's a lot of money. So let's say 2, because 3 is a little bit too much. 2 stars, 2 relievers, all 4 are pretty good. I mean, that's a lot of money, but that's also
That's what you
game
need.
changing. That's game changing. You add in trading for Soto or Alonso. I mean, if you trade for one of those guys, you're not paying them until the 2024 offseason, next offseason. You're not paying
Okay.
them until then. You're just spending this year's money on some pitching. You're trading for them, and they're on the team, and you don't have to pay them for a bit. I mean, of course, salaries will add up and all, but I mean, it's doable, definitely. And I mean, at least 1 star and 1 reliever and 1 hitter. Let's start with that. And also some marginal players, but we need 1 guy in each category that will fill those holes. We need a bullpen. That's the biggest thing. We need some starting pitching. We're not well rounded at that spot.
Nope.
I mean, Steele is really our best pitcher, and he could be a number 2 star for some teams.
Yeah, okay. I 100% agree with what you've said. I think the Cubs should first of all target a bullpen, second of all target starting pitching, and then when you got that locked down, you should go for a splash in batting. I don't think you necessarily need this crazy Ohtani ace. You might, but I don't think that's necessary. I think what you need is depth in all areas and maybe a star like Pete Alonso. Pete Alonso, in my opinion, would be the best out of the big 3, which is Alonso, Soto, and Ohtani.
Well, no.
Because Alonso is a first baseman. He'll get you a lot of home runs. And he's not someone who's going to request trillions of dollars like Ohtani and Soto.
Well, here's the thing, right? The thing about Ohtani is that he could be paid $60 million a year. We don't know how big his contract's going to be. And meanwhile, Alonso and Soto have a salary for next year. And Alonso, I believe, was at 20 million, and so 25-ish. Here's the thing, right? Soto's going to cost a lot more, and he doesn't fill the gap that Alonso fills. Ohtani, I mean, you have to understand who you're getting when you're getting Ohtani. If he's healthy, he adds 10 wins to this team. I mean, I'm trying to be realistic, but he's also by far the best player in baseball, and he pitches, he hits, he's two MVPs in 1. If he's healthy, of course. If he can't pitch, I mean, if you have him for 10 years, eventually he's probably going to get old before the end. He's not going to be doing as good. But I mean, the first 5 years will be gems, I think. I mean, this is a great player who would be game changing. However, I will point out that the Cubs could use a star player like Soto or Otani to build around, and someone could be switching to first base from the outfield. I mean, I feel like what would be more important, Alonso or a star player filling that hole at first, or getting that star player and having some marginal defensive player at first, but you have the star player on your team.
Yeah, but who are you gonna move to first base?
Good question. I mean, I'm not sure if Hap or Seiya can play first. Not gonna lie, I'm not sure. I mean, Suzuki's pretty bad catching the ball. Sorry, Seiya.
I think he's actually really good at catching the ball. Remember that Atlanta game where I think I'm remembering it wrong. I think did he drop that? Was that season ending too?
Look.
Mamma mia, pizzeria, mortadella, mozzarella. That is not good. That is not good.
Can Soto move to first?
No. Soto's not going to get paid $300 million to get moved to first.
Yeah, that sounds kind of funny if you think about it. Cubs are like, we want you so much, but you're going to be not playing your actual position. Enjoy the money. Like, let me look up Seiya Suzuki positions.
Dude, it's all going to be outfield. And also, I gotta go soon.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even know if Seiya can play anything else.
Well, he'll have to learn.
Otani can only play outfield too.
Yeah, don't put out Otani at first. That's just pure disrespect.
I know, but it's also, we're trying to fill a hole. I mean, someone can play first.
Maybe Pete Alonso. Like a first baseman who's like good. No, it's too logical for you. Well, that's all the time we have today.
So thank you guys for watching. Yeah, we didn't get to the White Sox today. What was that noise? We didn't get to the White Sox.
No one cares about the White Sox. White Sox are stupid.
So and you'll get to talk more next episode. We can do a White Sox focused. What can the White Sox do to rebuild if you're interested or something like that?
No one's interested.
Something like that. I don't know. But anyways, thank you guys for watching.
Stay frosty.
Please like, subscribe, share this channel and everything with your friends. We appreciate you, Sonny. Please don't worry. And until next time, everyone, see you
later. And stay frosty.
And
go White Sox. Go White Sox. Go White Sox. Go White Sox.